Alright guys, in this video I'm going to show you guys one of the best dinosaur decks in Master Duel. I used this deck to actually get rank 1 myself, and it's going to be very consistent to pull off this insane combo to actually get 3 negates with your Appaloosa, sometimes even 4. You're going to have an Atria Beast, you're going to have a Savage Dragon or a UTC, and then you can combo into a Crystron Phoenix over here, and that's going to basically game most decks. This deck is oriented around going turn 1, however you can go second and still make these insane boards and disrupt your opponent's hand traps. But I wanted to start off the intro with showing off this play because you will dumpster on Eldritch players as well as the Sky Striker players because it basically just auto games them. A lot of times you will even give them a token so they can't even really respond to a bunch of your stuff, which is absolutely amazing. But this combo right here is basically what you want to set yourself up for. But this is just like a little intro over here. So we go for the Crystron Phoenix and it just gets rid of everything and he says GG's. Alrighty guys, so let's go ahead and get started. So this is the deck that again I used myself to get rank 1 in Platinum with, but let's go ahead and hop right into the deck profile now that we have a little bit of an intro so you guys can kind of see how it plays. So this deck is going to be a little bit different. Obviously, yes, it's dinosaurs, but we don't even end our board with dinosaurs most of the time. So just as a heads up, I want to mention really quickly because there's a lot of people that want to play, let's say, a newer deck, and they're like, I want to get, you know, high ranked with whatever deck, right? This deck, just as a heads up, is not going to be easy. I wouldn't even put this on my top 5 decks in YuGiOh Master Duel. The reason why is it's not a very easy deck to play. You have to know the game relatively well. You actually have to build chain blocks with a lot of different cards that will be a little bit different than other decks. If you guys are looking for an easier deck to get like rank 1 with, check the pinned comment. I put a video that goes over the top 5 best decks in YuGiOh Master Duel. But the thing is that I started building this deck because I got a few ultra rares in the very beginning, and I'm very familiar with Dinos. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. I'll explain my choices. If you guys want to learn the full combos and some of the things in the gameplay, check the pinned comment. There's going to be some more stuff. So I'll be making a dedicated combo video later. But keep in mind, I am a player that was a free-to-play player, but the thing is that you can actually replace some of these cards, but this is the stuff that I was running. At one point, I was running True King Dinos. It's just because I did not want to play against the AI to earn my gems. I just wanted to play ranked. So in the very beginning, we did start out with True King, and then I evolved it into this Scrap Dinosaur deck, which I call the SSScrap Dinos because we play triple copies of Scrap Raptor. But let's get started with the deck profile. Just want to explain some stuff at the very beginning because it's not an easy deck to play. Most of you guys probably won't even consider Dinos in the top tier, but if you play them right, they can definitely be top tier. So starting off, we have one Cyphering Driver. That's because we play Cyphering Gamma. This card is a brick to draw. It sucks, but the reason why I play it is I run triple copies of Max C, and if I Max C, I need to draw into something that prevents me from getting OTK'd. Gores is not relevant this day and age, so Gamma, excellent card for that. Adhara is used to make Atria Beast, which absolutely destroys Sky Strikers, as well as turn 1. If you go first and you're playing up against Eldritch, all they're going to do is set a bunch of cards. You negate every single card, so they're just going to set everything, hoping they're going to get rid of this. But you go for this card and you banish all their spells and traps, and then they just simply quit the game. So yeah, Atria Beast is very, very important. It also automatically beats Pendulums. Pendulums, I really didn't see too many in the higher ranks of the game, but if you do make Nat Beast, yeah, they just fold. Especially if you also give them the token, then they can't really do anything else because, yeah, they're control card, right? Anyways, I run triple copies of Archosaur. You can drop this to 2 if you want to, but it's only super rare. The reason why I like multiple copies of this card is a lot of people are playing Gozen, and this can actually help out. Or technically Revelry Roller, depending on which one I gets activated. But UTC is actually a light, so it does actually work quite well with it. But there's a lot of 2-card combos in this. Like in the intro clip that you guys saw, that's only a 2-card combo. A lot of 2-card combos will be some variant of either Archosaur, Baby, or if you have like a Missile, you can actually 1-for-1 as part of a combo. You can Scrap Raptor plus have the Field Spell. Field Spell plus like anything that you can attack into the token is also pretty much going to be game, but it will be in the main phase 2 where you combo off. But there's so many 2-card combos in this entire deck, it's insane. But yeah, 3 copies of Archosaur is totally fine. The reason why is I do not want to draw this card really at all, but if I do, I can still combo off of it. But I need specifically 1 in the deck a lot of the times to actually go off. But it's also another good card to go into during your opponent's turn, because then you can go and if you happen to have Baby, then you can search Avi, then you can go Miss, and then this card, a lot of times what I do with this is go into this as an opener, because then you can follow up with another play of your scrap combo, basically. So if you like go for this in the very very beginning, they stop it for whatever reason. Because let's say they stop the first part of Miss Cell's effect, and then you got the second part to go for the banish. And then you are able to go for this, then you can snatch steal something. It's good, I like it a lot, and so that's why I play 3 copies. But I don't play Link Karibo, it's not a bad card, but I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, 3 Archosaurs totally fine. I play 3 copies of Baby Stegosaurus. If you open up this plus a lot of the other dinosaurs, if I can open up this and this, I win. If I open up this and this, I win. If Scrap Raptor this and this is like an insane combo, but if it's just Scrap Raptor this, that's also game over. Really good card. I just pop Baby to add another baby, and then I just go off from there. We got 3 copies of Max C, it's a no-brainer. If you're playing Master Duel, you gotta play it. It's too OP. Gamma, again, I already explained that. If I'm using Max C, I need to make sure I can actually draw into something. But I actually would really like to play Omega. I just don't happen to have it right now because I stuck free to play so I can get to the highest rank in the game. So that way people would comment, because I also stream. There's always people that say, dude, your deck, is it pay to win? I'm like, no, I'm free to play. And that way, I eventually will get this. I have a bunch of gems right now, as you can see from like the profile. I've been saving up my gems for other decks that I do want to build, but I stuck with the game pretty much free to play for its entirety so far. At least we're free to play, but I'll spend some money to support the game. But that's my reasoning for not playing maybe certain cards like Omega yet, but I would recommend to play that. If you can gamma your opponent when you go for, like, let's say Missile effect, or you activate something, I'll get into Mallet too, because that's going to be a controversial card for sure. Or if I go for like Falso Dig and they do something, if I gamma, I'm winning that turn. Like, it's game over. 1 copy of this baby, it's the worst one, but I like to play it because it can help me go for extensions on combos, and I just need to have 2 babies in the deck for like a good combo. Ash Blossom, you pretty much play in every deck, but the reason why I actually need Ash Blossom is specifically because it's level 3. I send it to the graveyard with the Shooting Riser Dragon, or I can send Missile, which sets me up next turn, but specifically it helps me go for the Crystron Phoenix, those types of plays. Then Giant Rex, this card is no-brainer in any dinosaur deck. You gotta play it. It's a Earth, it's level 4, it lets me make Tree Beast. Very good stuff indeed. Scrap Chimera is fantastic because this is Scrap Dino, so we got triple copies of Scrap Raptor. You gotta play 1 copy of Chimera. If some people were talking about Refrigerator, I don't like it. It's a -1 if you draw it, pretty much. I mean, technically you can get the additional summon. It's another card that I would say is a win harder. If I'm comboing, I'm gaming my opponent, I would rather just play other cards to get my combos more consistent. Like I said, lots of 2-card combos to just game your opponent in this. 3 copies of Missile. This card is really OP. I just think this card is so insane. Even at 1 in the TCG, I could still play Dinos perfectly fine. I have lots of decks in real life, but again, the reason why I decided to go Dinos is I pulled this. I pulled Pinkatrops. Also, I'm not playing Pinkatrops. It's not good going first, and then going second, I want the most consistent combo. If I was to consider Pinkatrops, I would much rather consider like a Duster. Feather Duster would be something I would consider, because at the highest rank of the game, you're going to be playing Eldritch and Sky Striker most of the time anyways. So having like Pinkatrops, yeah, you get rid of 1, but I'd much rather just get rid of the entire back row. Or even Red Reboot, that's another great card because of the amount of traps. It's specifically Eldritch. That's the deck I'd recommend for a lot of beginner players. If you're looking for a deck that can like get you to the top rank as quickly as possible with not as much thought process going on, I would probably recommend that deck. It's easier to pick up, I would say, than Dinos. Dinos, you have to know the combos very, very well because there's so many like 2-card combos in this deck. But anyways, yeah, we got Missile, amazing card. Because you banish it and it's just so OP. Just get whatever you want. And then Oviraptor, obviously you're going to be playing 2 copies of it. Unfortunately, there's no 3 like in the TCG, but this card's excellent. This card is so good for the second effect. Like, I feel like the Dinosaurs effects on like both of these cards are just too insane. Even Scrap Raptor is really good, but just being able to pop baby, to go for another baby, and you can just combo off for the Scrap Raptor, which is the next card I want to talk about. Really good stuff indeed. Scrap Raptor can combo itself into just any rank 4 that you want to go for. You go Scrap Raptor, pop itself, search Scrap Chimera, Chimera summons itself, go into Scrap Raptor, and then you can just go into Bagooska to stall your opponent, or you can actually go and go into something else if you want to. You can maybe make these as well, depending on your hand and like what you can banish. It really helps out, and I like 3 copies of it. That's why I call it the SSScrap Raptor. We got triple copies of it, which a lot of decks don't play. The reason why I play 3 is because if I open up Scrap Raptor, it plus Lost World, it's game. Like, I just win the game because of that. And if I don't draw, it's fine. I actually don't even care if I draw or I don't draw. Either way, it's a win, because unless I draw all 3, drawing all 3 is bad. It's happened a couple times, but yo, my boy Magical Mallet coming in clutch. I love that card, but Scrap Raptor at 3, I love it. It's so good because, again, it just lets you just go for so much free advantage in the game, and because it's a Dinosaur plus a tuner, it lets me go into, like, you know, more plays. 2 UTC, this is pretty much standard in all Dinosaur decks and win so many games. If I'm not gaming my opponent, like, because I went first and I wombo combo them, I could actually just go off the following turn. If, like, let's say they go first with UTC, a lot of times it makes a game, and I don't really care if they happen to max C me. I'm going to be going for game 99% of the time anyways. I don't care. You guys have probably seen that live stream. I'd say 9 times out of 10, if I get max seed, I'm still winning the game. It's very, very seldom where they will be able to come back from, you know, if they max see me. I just don't care. I will have Dolka with 2 negates. I will have Appaloosa with 3-4 negates. I'm just going to negate anything that's going to be activated during the battle phase or, like, damage stuff. Doesn't matter. Usually I just flip everything face down, and it doesn't matter what they have. Next up, Terraform, because this card actually is so good for chain blocking, and again, that's why I say this deck is not easy. But yeah, next up, Magical Mallet. I gotta talk about this card because it's kind of controversial. A lot of people have been like, yo, why you play this card? And I'm like, okay, what rank are you? And then I find out. This card, I've been playing in a lot of different decks. The OCG also plays it at very high level for online play only. This is important. Real life, you could consider it, but the reason why, if you guys have played this game, most people have the thing where, like, Maxi is automatically every second you do something, it's like, hey, do you want a Maxi? Do you want a Maxi? I know when my opponent has Maxi, but do I know when they have an Ash Blossom? With this card, I can find out if they have Ash Blossom very easy, 99% of the time. Plus, it does bait out stuff. I have baited out even at the Platinum rank some people's stuff with Magical Mallet, but it lets me know exactly what they have, and then I can actually start deciding what I actually want to chain block depending on what they have. It's a fantastic card, but you have to know what you're doing with it. You have to, like, kind of understand online how the games work, and this is like an online warrior deck. Like, for the most part, this card is just so incredibly good. I love it. Wouldn't take out one of them. It doesn't matter. I understand you can get more consistency with having less cards and then in your opening hand, but, like, you know, basically Upstart, if you are going second, I understand that, like, Upstart, it's not going to do anything, right? In the terms of, like, if I drop this and played more hand traps, I can respond to my opponent. But the only thing that is a response to my opponent that I actually want most of the time when I'm going second is actually going to be, like, Lightning Storm, Duster, because it's just Eldritch at the top rank. So I actually like this. Going into this is just deactivate this and it's GG. I could consider Duster, Red Reboot, those are all great cards as well. But, like, I just really like this for consistency because, you know, it's 50-50 going first, and if I go first, I'm winning, like, 99.9% of the time if I can combo off, because most of the time if they have hand traps, Nibiru, Valor, Ash, I can play through a lot of these things because Miscell is OP, and on top of that, they can't really respond to. Once I get to the point where I'm going to be able to get Nibiru, all they would take out is a Scrap Wyvern because everything else is going to be, you know, Dinosaurs, so it's immune to most of the stuff in the game, plus the token stops a lot of their hand traps as well. This deck just plays through a lot so much, and that's why the deck is so good, and that's why I want consistency on it. Double Evil Pill, this is basically going to be utilized to get back the Giant Rex. Fantastic card, and by the time I'm using it, they can't really ash it because I'm going to just say, no, sorry, you can't, because I make this card first. Very, very good card. It's standard to play too in, like, every Dino deck. This or searches out whatever. It's totally great. And then we have one Lightning Storm because I got it for free. You could actually play Feather Duster, Red Reboot. Those are all fantastic cards as well. Triple Lost World because it gives them the token, and it really helps out. There are some circumstances where I can game my opponent with Dugares and Pentastag. Check the pin comment. There'll be lots of videos that go over, like, the intricacies of, like, Lost World plus, like, the tokens. It's pretty self-explanatory, but you double the attack of UTC, which is 7,000, and then you pierce them for all the damage, and then basically the Pentastag over here, even with Lost World, is 1,100, so it'll make it game in, like, most circumstances, unless they're playing Grand Maju and they heal up for, like, ridiculous amounts. But I've only played against, I think, one Grand Maju at the high rank of the game, but that would be pretty much the extent of like the explanation of like, you know, the little egg tokens. This is just used to stop their my opponent's plays, but it's also great not only to stop their hand traps, but like if I can hit like a Sky Striker, you know, sometimes it could be okay, or Eldritch, you know, hitting some other like, you know, monsters can help out, but for the most part it's just used for me comboing harder. So as far as the extra deck goes, dang, we're only like 15 minutes. Like I said, I'll be making a combo video in the future to explain how these cards work, and check the pinned comments because I don't want to make this video like an hour long, because if I show you guys all the combos, you guys will be absolutely blown away. I've written down this thing of so many different combos with just 2 cards in this deck, but every single turn I net trade beast. You beat so many decks. You literally poo-poo all over Eldritch, you poo-poo all over Sky Strikers, all over Pendulums, those decks. If you go first and you make Nat Beast, because again, they'll be controlling tokens, so a lot of stuff they cannot activate because, well, it's not like they're gonna be able to do them anyways, you just stop it. But Shooting Riser Dragon, excellent for the combo play, again, of going Nat Beast and this card. Savage Dragon is the only cards I would drop in here are Savage Dragon and Samurai, as far as the extra goes, but keep in mind, I stuck with free to play, so like cards that would be good also. The reason why I would drop this, most of the time, Dolka or Lagi would be almost the same, and I have to play these cards. This card is optional, kind of. We just happen to get it, but I still think this card's okay. You can make it during your opponent's turn, but the thing is Lagia is only like a 1 negate anyways. This card technically negates 2, but it's like a once per turn. It does have more attack, which is kind of nice, but I think I'd rather save the room for Omega because I can see what my opponent's playing. Plus, if I can do this during my turn at the very start, like when I go for Missile or whatever and they stop me, I just go side frame, and then I can go instantly into Omega, see what they're playing, and it kind of helps out, knocks card out of their hand. Great stuff indeed. And then technically Omega is just a great card as well. But that would be like one of the cards I could consider removing, actually. Crystal Phoenix, obviously this is like 100% just for Eldritch, but I've used it against some other decks too. But yeah, it's the intro combo really that just destroys people. And then we got Lagia, we got Dolka, you gotta play these in Dinos. Samurai, technically a little bit optional, but the reason why I like it is, interesting enough, Lost World actually reduces the attack of a lot of OTKs, considering these are not actually dinosaurs, they're dragons, so they actually lose their attack. So sometimes because of the egg token, if I don't want to go for Pentastag, most of the time if there's 2 egg tokens, I'm going Pentastag. But if on the off chance they have something that would stop this in between a combo where before I'm making this card, sometimes this card actually helps out clearing the tokens, and then UTC can hit 35 direct. It's just for the numbers to match up. It actually does help me out, and it's an okay card. However, I would consider dropping this card completely. It's not necessary. It has won me some games, I will admit, but cards like Dweller are excellent. You can even throw in cards like Castell. Those are all the good rank 4s, but you can throw in another Synchro too if you want to and drop this. These are the 2 cards I would actually consider dropping. Like, I didn't really need them in a lot of circumstances. But yes, there's also Chain Bara. I'm typing this. I'm gonna mention some other cards in here. Oh, isn't it an ultra rare in here? Speed. Let's go. Yes. Okay. This card I consider too. I have this one in real life, but it can attack twice as well, but it does require a tuner, obviously, because it's a synchro monster, so I don't know if I really like that. I'd rather just Samurai it most of the time, because like I only play 1 tuner. Unless you play the True King variant, you're not getting this card back. So that would be another card if you wanted to like try to push for OTKs. Chain Bar is good as well. You can also play like the Direct tuner, but I don't really care for it. It's like a -1 anyways. Like, I'd rather just play this because I can just special it via effect. This would be a card that you can consider. Bagooska, 100% keeping it. If I get Max Seed turn 1. Turn 2, like if I'm going to be able to attack, I will take the Max Seed challenges, YOLO, go for game, and I go for game every single time. But Bagooska is actually really good if either you open up bad, like if you literally just go Scrap Raptor into Scrap Raptor search, go Chimera, and go for this. I've actually won a lot of games because of Bagooska as well, so I would not remove this card. Dugares is used for lots of OTKs. You double attack a UTC. It has the effect of being able to also special summon another monster, which doesn't actually negate its effect. So you can just special search. It helps out. I generally only use it for like the boost though. This card, absolutely amazing. There's a game where I literally won just because of this card, but that's again the same reason why I play 3 Archosaur. It starts off the combo a lot of the times, and if they disrupt it, I can go Snatch Steal and then try to still combo off of that later. It's great, especially with like, there's lots of different combos. I wish this card, though, it did have just literally one attack. The reason why is I can attack over the egg token, but this card over here can absorb, then you can kill the egg token, then you do the combo. But nonetheless, yeah, this card is fantastic. A lot of people play Link Karibo. That's another good card, but that's playing defensive. I ain't about that life. We go all in every single time. Sometimes even if my opponent maxes me turn 1, I don't care. I'm gonna set up like 6 negates on monsters, and then I can set up obviously infinite spell negates, and then if they set cards, whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's usually like Dolka, and then this will have like 4 negates. But a lot of the 2-card combos will give you 3 negates on Appaloosa, just as a heads up. But to get the 4 negate, you'll have to have like this or something to extend your combo. But this Hockey Firebracks, obviously, yes, we use this to make Naturia Beast. It's excellent. We can also, like, pretty much just for the, like, this combo. Nightmare Phoenix definitely helped out. There was one time where I popped someone's Imperial Order, but for the most part, like, you're just Lightning Storming the back row. In the off chance your opponent has something weird that you need to get rid of, like, there was one time where, like, I could not target. He had any Noble Knight equip, like one of those Assault decks, and, like, I was able to pop the card, then we snatched it. Like, this card's good. Definitely play it in every single deck. That's, like, no-brainer. Pentastag, obviously, because UTC has 3,500, we doing that big piercing, and there's lots of games where I'm hitting people for 7,000 on 2 eggs. And then Scrap Wyvern, we need it for our combo, and then Appaloosa. So the only real cards here that you could consider changing are like everything you need, every single card in here. The only cards I would consider is Samurai as well as the Savage Dragon, because you can play like Omega, you can put in Dweller. I didn't get these. Like I said, like you could definitely put in Dweller here, but remember, I stay free to play so we can go to max rank and no one could say, hey, you did pay to win. I will pay to win later just to support the game a little bit because, you know, it's a good game. But anyways, that's going to go and wrap it up. If you guys want to see the combos and this is your first time here, like I said, this deck is not easy, and I have to mention that because I know a lot of people that came to the live stream, especially for the first time. By the way, if you're not following me on Twitch, feel free to do so. We'll probably stream some like weird decks now that I've played, you know, at the highest rank of the game. I want to see if we can get some like lower tier like Coastal Beast or something weird to like the higher ranks of the game. But if you do want to see some more stuff in the future, like I said, the deck is not easy, so if you're losing with that, I promise you're doing something wrong, because it is a really good deck. A lot of people would not consider it top tier. You just have to learn the deck. It's not easy. Again, I have to stress that, because a lot of people kept on asking me for the deck profile, like, you know, I'm stuck in gold, do you recommend this deck? And I would say I probably wouldn't, because it's not easy. Plus, for the crafting, it will cost you a lot of ultra rares. I mean, for whatever reason, Fossil Dig is an ultra rare. Of course, you need 3. You need 2 of these, so that's what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, this deck has a lot of ultra rares, I'm not gonna lie. But again, I pulled a bunch of the Dino stuff. You can also consider Pinkatrops. That's not a bad option as well. But dang, this video is 22 minutes long. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it and subscribe if you're new. If you want to see the combo video, I'll be dropping it later. But take care, I'll catch you next one. Peace. Also check the pinned comments for some links.